Peace gods, peace goddesses. Hotep, Shalom Mishkael. I reserve all my rights without recourse, without prejudice. Alright, so we're just gonna get straight into it. I have never written an affidavit before, done an affidavit, so I'm gonna practice. And we're just gonna write it out. Alright. We're gonna write this thing out. Because as you can see, we gotta uplift ourselves. You see, in this situation right here. But I can study, you know what I mean? Having right here until I get it right. So here we go. But it's cold and it's sleeping in this car. Okay. All right. I got a couple of court cases to start with. And then once I figure out how to fix my issues, I can get my brother, and I gave my brother life in prison for nothing, man. My mom is a political prisoner. They've been keeping my mom for a long time. But anyways, here we go. All right. I'm gonna write this out. Okay. Once again, I reserve all of my rights without recourse, without prejudice. This is private information for myself, for my records. All right. All right. So, first thing I need to do see. Let's see. All right, so we have Compton Court. $200 West Compton, PL. See, I'm going live now, so I can record a little bit longer because I think it doesn't take as long to upload. So my battery is 100%. So as long as we got battery, we're gonna be live. Get this done, or at least practice, right? Versus, then I'm gonna put my all caps right here. So I'll leave that for right now. Okay. And then I got a case number. Then this case number A, B, 043. Then I'll put the rest later. Alright, so we'll just make up. So right now, put the serif Eli, lowercase serif Eli. This is just for practice, so versus, and then this part right here, I gotta figure that part out. I know it's gonna be the name of the police officer and the police department, attorney general. I gotta figure out who all to put right there. All right. Then over here, I'm gonna put admiralty. Gotta let them know this is an affidavit. Of specific. Negative. Department. Opportunity to cure. And claim. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Y'all hold on just a second. Oh, man. Yeah. So many of these I'm about to do. I've been getting pulled over and arrested since I was 16 or 17 years old, man. That was over 20 years ago. You know what I mean? My whole life arrested for traffic tickets, bullshit, fraud, fake shit that they never had a right to arrest me for. It was fraud. They've been committing fraud on me all my life, ruining my life. You know what I mean? Every time you get a new job, every time you start college or start school, you got to worry about the police pulling you over, taking you to jail, trying to make bail, trying to get back to your normal life. All because I didn't know how to fight back. I used to always hear the pen is a powerful weapon. And honestly, I always wanted to know what that meant. How to use the pen as a weapon. So obviously it's been used against me. Right? I got warrants in so many states that I'm about to take care of with this right now. Warrants for bullshit, for nothing. Traffic shit, everything having to do with a car. So, mainly. But we're about to take care of this right now. Because the last time that, well, not the last time, but last time was like a week ago. Time before that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? He almost broke my arm. He dislocated my shoulder, my spine. I was in pain, severe pain. As soon as I got out, I went to see a physician, and they stole my car. I still haven't gotten it back, right? So they had the handcuffs on so tight. I kept asking, you know, unloosen the handcuffs. Why am I in handcuffs for a traffic ticket, right? Why am I in handcuffs? Why did you open my car door and physically pull me out the car and handcuff me to the point of, you know, almost causing my wrist to bleed for a traffic ticket? And you throw my fez on the ground. That was real disrespectful. So then, when I'm complaining about the handcuffs, he says, "Well, I'm gonna call an ambulance for you." It's like, "Well, do that if it's gonna make these handcuffs come off or get any looser." So the ambulance comes and fire truck or whatever. About 4 or 5 guys get out of the ambulance and fire truck, right? A couple of Asian guys, which surprised me. I never met too many Asians that are dishonorable, but there are some out here. Chinese dude, whatever he was. So, anyways, instead of the ambulance and the fire truck helping me and, you know, taking consideration of my complaint that these handcuffs are crushing my wrist, they start asking me questions about my mental health. Do I know where I am? Is something wrong with me? So I knew where that was going. So I just cut it short. You know what I mean? I told them to fuck off. I'm good. I don't need nobody. So they still kept the handcuffs on. They still had no reason to arrest me, but they arrested me. And he took my car. He took my car. So they take me down to the station, and I think at that point I had told him that I would be billing him $5,000 a second from that point when he pulled me out of my car. So get me down to the station, and this dude doesn't even look like he works at this police station because the other policeman asking him, "What are you doing here today? You're not supposed to be working." So I'm in there standing on my square, and they want to ask me a bunch of bullshit questions. There's one calling me all kind of names, and I know he's trying to do. He's trying to make me get angry and all of that, right? So I basically turned around. I told him, why don't you come home? You know, why don't you stop being a dishonor? And he basically shut up after that. So, against my will, they took my fingerprints and all of that, forced me to sign and all that. And put me in a cell. All right, so here we go. Comes now. Seriously, though. I guess this is gonna be Compton County Sheriff, and this is third party as is provided by saving to the suitor's clause. At United States Constitution, the 1 in parentheses. Period. I am standing in my unlimited commercial. Yeah, man, took me to jail. Charged me with no driver's license in possession when I showed my nationality card. Liability. Open my car door, kidnapped me, and then trafficked me into a illegal contract, which then he took to the stock market, and probably they're getting paid off for it right now. How do I know this? Well, that's the game. Respect it or check it. So guess what? Unlimited commercial liability as a secured party creditor. Secured party creditor. And request that the officers of this court do the same. So yeah, they're gonna be sick in the stomach. I'm gonna open up a can of worms so big in their guts. They're gonna wish they never came to America and started a war of genocide with us. You know? So when his wife goes to use a credit card and he cut it off because he owes me money, then he's gonna know why he is in dishonor. Let's see. I respectfully request the indulgence of this court. I respectfully request. And I'm talking about I got out and all my stuff was gone. I'm about to basically sleep outside, and me and my empress, and I went and took 4 pennies and put them on the four-way. Cried to my ancestors. And in less than a week, someone gave us this car with the title, no payments. It says, I respectfully request indulgence of this court as I am not schooled in law. This is provided by the president set by Haynes vs. Kerner at 404 U.S. 519. This is provided by the president. Set by Haynes versus Kerner at 404 U.S. 519. All right, next page. Yes, threw my fares on the ground, threw my nationality card on the ground, snatched me out the car, had me sitting on the ground outside the car for at least 2 hours. They falsified documents as well. On the ticket, they said I got at 11. I booked in at 11 like that, but that was a lie because they arrested me at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Had me that whole time sitting outside on the ground. Excruciating. By the time they took my fingerprint, it time stamped. It was almost 12 p.m. So, as to count, definitely gonna add fraud, documents, plagiarism, whatever that is. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna find it because I know it's unlawful. I the third party plaintiff. And then this dude, we're sitting on and open the door. Created by God. Am not am not the same as the fictitious entity. I remember when I was younger, that movie with Michael Jackson, where he played the straw man, like the Wizard of Oz. I never really watched that movie. I never really got into it because I barely liked the actual Wizard of Oz movie, so I thought they were just making their own version. But now that I'm older, I realized Michael Jackson was really you know trying to tell us something in that movie. I should have been paying attention. All capital letter. Named Sir Eli. let's see, it would have a third name, right? So that'd be Surf Eli. Third name. Uh, Butler. All right. Um, so I guess I gotta fix it over here too. Butler. Shout out to the Butlers. Okay. Um, that's the count one. I, the third party plaintiff, secured party creditor, a natural man created by God, am not the same as the fictitious entity, all capital letter named such and such that was created by the state. See, I'm writing this down because I'm gonna memorize it after a while. I don't know. That's just how I am. I write something down, I memorize it. I told my mind to do that. I commanded my mind to do that. Commanded my mind to listen and remember and to write and remember. Okay. I do not give any consent so it's like my mind, me and my mind have a contract in any capacity. I do not consent in any capacity to this court to place upon me any responsibility for this all capital letter name fictitious entity. Hmm. To place upon me any responsibility. Capital letter fictitious entity. That was created by the state. I am not the same. And I believe there's no evidence to the contrary. I have no with you. No contract with you. I do not consent to any contract with you. Yeah, I don't know who's training these peace officers to violate the Constitution by opening people's doors and snatching them out of cars. On top of that, your record shows that you violated the Constitution. So, I mean, it just ruins your life, ruins your record. I mean, for real, for real. Not like how you're running around fake ruining people's lives throwing them in jail and prison under the color of law, which is unlawful. So here we go. I'm writing this out. And who knows, maybe in a year or two, I'll even learn how to write legislation. Right. Let's see. To do not consent to any contract with you. If you presume that I have a contract with you, I rebut any presumption. We presumptions. Why? Because the fact negates the presumption. Let's see. If someone presumes they know something, if you presume that you know who I am, the fact of the matter will show that you do not. So all you peace officers, I beseech thee, stay in honor, remain in honor. Your honor is yours. Do not sell it. Do not trespass it. It's just like committing suicide. It may feel good while it's lasting, while nobody figures it out, while nobody knows. But we all know when the dark comes to them, however you want to say that, you know it's written in your scriptures. If you presume that I have a contract with you, I rebut any presumption of any contract that you may presume that I have with you. So, you want to be super badass and go to war with God, then let us know how that works out for you. Because a wise man loves the law. I rebut any presumption that I have with you. This is evidenced by documents that are on file with the California Secretary of State. Guess I gotta put some documents on file. But anyways, we're gonna write anyway. It's evidenced by documents that are on file with the California Secretary of State. So I guess that's going to be my judicial proclamation, UCC. The public records. Of this county. Records of the court. U.S. Department Treasury. Internal Revenue Service. And I mean, I'm sending one of these to every police officer that's ever put me in handcuffs in the past 20, 30 years. Same for my Empress, U.S. Department of Commerce. U.S. Department of Justice. Every policeman who's stolen my property, who's assaulted me, who's kidnapped and trafficked me, slandered me, defrauded me. If the third party defendants every cop that's forced me to be in their law that Black African American is their copyright property. You just can't. The third party defendants have any lawfully documented evidence to the contract conference now. Let them come forth now. I would hope that our president come forth now. And I say our because I accept the cohabitation that we have agreed to. Even if you do not. Because our treaty is the law of the land. And for the official record, so I give respect as I demand respect for the official record. Whenever someone comes into my kingdom, they should know how to address me. Whenever you go to eat dinner with another king, you shall respect. Yes, Your Majesty. No, Your Majesty. When they come to eat with you, they shall respect. Yes, Your Highness. No, Your Highness. See? Unless you're still calling yourself African American, certify the evidence. black. See, here's the thing. We know a lot. We know we be calling each other that, and we be like, we done been through everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's ours. We gonna claim it, whatever. It's ours. That's us. Can't nobody do it but us. You ain't been through the pain. You ain't felt the pain, suffer that we suffer. You know, but we really, when we grow up, we realize that we really probably should not look at it that way, because by law, and we gotta say by law because it's by law that we end up in these fucking handcuffs. And by law, those words are connected to that, or those terms. You know what I mean? Words, terms, things you start realizing when you start reading dictionaries don't mean what do you think it means. Come forth now and let the district attorney certify their evidence under unlimited commercial liability. Yeah, but I would hope the U.S. president would encourage his municipal and public and peace officers to be honorable, to hold dear the truth of their oaths while under oath. It amazes me how people can take an oath and then think that there's no um there's no punishment, like uh you know um you can say spiritual, or you know think that, or karma. Some people say karma, think that what goes around doesn't come around. Like taking the oath, man, that's what they call something sacred. That's something sacred, and when it's violated with such malicious, malevolent malevolence, I would imagine it doesn't end well. History has showed it doesn't end well. And for some reason, history has a way of repeating. For some, for most of us. All right. Let's see. Failure to continue this action without proof of your claim is an abuse of process. Right here. Failure to continue this action. Failure to continue this action without proof of your claim is abuse of process, comma, dishonor in commerce, comma, abuse of power. What do all men want with power? More power. Extortion, coercion, obstruction of justice. I know there's some SEC laws being broken with this process. I just need to figure it out. Work it out. That's what we call it. We're going to work it out, y'all. This right here is working it out. Man, heal thyself. That is a law. Denial of due process, etc. I believe there is no evidence to the contrary. See, that's my presumption. They must negate my presumption with a fact. I believe there is no evidence to the contrary. So kindly send me, I'm not writing this, but kindly send me evidence to prove me wrong. Or else my belief stands as truth. My presumption, unrebutted, becomes a fact. There is no evidence to the contrary that these actions are abuse of process, dishonoring commerce, abuse of power, extortion, coercion, obstructions of justice, denial of due process, etc. All right. As to count two, next paragraph. As to count two, all right. Let's see here. What I got? Hold on just a minute. Let's go back and read what we got so far. Comes now my name, third party plaintiff by special visitation, and not appearing general before the court, seeking a remedy in admiralty as is provided by the saving to the suitor's clause. At USC 28-133, parentheses 1. I am standing in my unlimited commercial liability as a secured party creditor and request that the officers of this court do the same. I respectfully request the indulgence of this court as I am not schooled in law. This is provided by the precedent set by Haynes versus Kerner at 404 US 519. I got to remember to go back and read that case some more, all the way, thoroughly. As to count one, I, Sarah Eli Butler, the third party plaintiff, all lowercase, secured party creditor, a natural man created by God, am not the same as the fictitious entity, all capital letter name John, or Sheriff Eli Butler that was created by the state. I do not give any consent in any capacity to this court to place upon me any responsibility for this all capital letter name fictitious entity that was created by the state. Simply put, I am not the same, and I believe that there is no evidence to the contrary. Another presumption, which they must answer to, or it's a fact. I have no contract with you and do not consent to any contract with you. If you presume that I have a contract with you, I rebut any presumption of any contract that you may presume that I have with you. An unrebutted presumption stands as truth. This is evidenced by documents that are on file with the California Secretary of State, the public records of this county, records of this court, U.S. Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, U.S. Department of Commerce, U.S. Department of Justice, and others. If third-party defendants have any lawfully documented evidence to the contrary, let them on and for the official record and let the district attorney certify the evidence. Okay. Under their unlimited commercial liability while under oath and under penalties of the law, including perjury. Failure to continue this action without proof of your claim is abuse of power, dishonoring commerce, abuse of process, extortion, coercion, no justice, denial of due process, etc. I believe that there's no evidence to the contrary. It'd be nice if I knew how to put. I like to see proof of claim of the font style that is lawful that you're using in your documents and passing off as charges. I'm gonna figure that one out too. I'm gonna work it out. Do some more reading. Because you're writing me tickets, you're writing me charges, and you're putting me in handcuffs, and you're imprisoning me. But everything that you're writing has no lawful bearing. As a matter of fact, it's fraud because you're passing it off in a court as charges, criminal charges. So we'll get to that. Okay, hold on. Let me grab something to snack on. Something to snack on. After a while, I just be able to sit down and just write these by hand from memory. Because I'm never putting registration tags on the car. So my private property, I do not consent. Did I want to contract with you to be possessors in any way of my private property? Are we clear? I am not for hire. I am not involved in any commercial activity. I would like to put you on notice, peace officer, public servant, whatever your name is. Am I free to go? No, I am not driving. I am traveling on a public highway. As per Miller versus United States, 1956. Am I free to go? Well, I tell you what, I'll be happy to give you my license or to give you the documents that you requested and the information that you're asking me for upon proof of claim that there is a controversy. And let me ask you, is your microphone and your video recording our encounter at the moment? Okay, good. Are you sure? To the best of your knowledge. Okay, good. Must ask you, plan to use these documents against me in court? Because if so, I cannot give them to you. As it would not be wise to incriminate myself. Am I free to go? I'll be more than happy to provide you with the documents and information that you required, that you requested, peace officer 0101, upon proof of claim that you have jurisdiction over the subject matter pending. Well, if you continue to be belligerent, I'm going to request the sergeant and the sheriff because I'm starting to fear for my life that you don't know the law, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. Am I free to go? Yeah. Grab a pen. Teach it to your sons, teach it to your daughters. All my sons, all my daughters, write this out. Heal thyself. Whenever there's injury, there must be remedy. No one owes you anything, especially when it's been given to us freely. I know it doesn't feel like it because we've been bamboozled and had the wool pulled over our eyes for all this time. Some of us still extremely to this world, mostly because we be in them Christian churches and they kind of be having you afraid to see what's really going on. They really be in fear, you know. When you go to church every Sunday to feel like you have a weapon against that fear when you really don't. That fear is controlling you. Be surprised how many people go to churches, call themselves Christians, and afraid of the dark, scared of the dark. What I mean is what a spiritual leader, mentor, guide, spiritual, father you have, and you still scared of the dark. If you didn't know that was something you should be thinking about, now you do. Which means you have been christened, which you have taken the time to seek and study and find that which your Christhood, your first eye. See, man, see, something you might call it faith, like the woman in the crowd who knew that Yeshua's intention was to be there to heal people, so she knew the law. If that was his intent, was get close enough to his shadow. Instance will Christhood, your Christ mind, persistent, persistent, persistent. Law is worthy to be. But let's get back to it. All right, so let's see. On or about. Okay, and count two. County. Compton County, all caps. Sheriff's Office. Descended upon the descended upon the property using traffic stop claiming that my license plate was not acceptable. Even though I just bought the car and had a dealer's plate on the car, he pulls me over to tell me my license plate was not acceptable. I mean, I got pulled over 3, 4, 5 times as soon as I buy the fucking car. So all of a sudden, your policy is pull over people with dealer's tags or just brown skin people, right? But was stolen and removed by that he was traveling on the public highway and that it was his fundamental protected right to do so. The Compton County Sheriff deputies proceeded to slander and referencing his use racketeering, false imprisonment, trespass, okay. Next paragraph. I, Sheriff Eli Butler, was arrested without a lawful Fourth Amendment warrant being issued for my arrest. Whenever Yeshua was in the garden and they didn't have a lawful warrant, or else that disciple might have been in trouble. Now, that may be a presumption. Arrested me for, arrested me for not having a driver display of license plate, both of which are not arrestable offenses. As per U.S. Supreme Court Calendar vs. Lawson, 1983. There was no probable to stop, search, accost, or arrest me, or steal my property, my private property. No crime committed. This is about my civil abuse of power, conspiracy, fraud, racketeering, false imprisonment, trespassing. Yeah, make sure the Archbishop of Los Angeles, California, the Pope, the FBI, the CIA, everybody gonna get a copy of these, so they know what's going on. Then I'm gonna get restraining orders so they can stay the fuck away from me. And I believe there's no evidence to the contrary. No evidence. Oh, fucking about 8 or 9 police officers jumping on me, beating me up, me and my little brother. My little brother. He was like 14 at the time. Like, what the fuck is going on? Then we go to jail for resisting. Resisting what? We coming home from school. Asked to count for I, Sheriff Eli, was forced to give my fingerprints and photographs. Oh, yeah. And since I copyrighted my fingerprints, they definitely owe me money for using my property without permission. I was forced to give, so I suggest you give me back my fingerprints. All y'all states, and my photograph. And my signature, because if you use any of it, guess who you owe money to? That's right. Sheriff Eli Butler was forced to give my fingerprints, photographs, against my will. I notified officers on duty that I did not consent. I did not give permission to take my fingerprints or photograph, as they are my personal property. See, that's that part of voodoo. That's how you write a curse right here. You want to curse somebody, you write it down. Let's see. The proper property. Theft of private property. Authority. Conspiracy to defraud. Racketeering. Obstruction of justice. Dishonoring commerce. Coercion. Human trafficking. Kidnapping. Extortion. What else? Think. Most noble and honorable ancestors, I invite thee. All others, you are not invited. You are not welcome. Great ancestors, give me the wisdom to complete this with precision. Let's see. Abuse of authority, conspiracy to defraud, racketeering, obstruction of justice, dishonor in commerce, coercion, human trafficking, kidnapping, extortion, denial of due process. I want to put attempted murder because he really hurt me. I was in so much pain in my spine. I went to see an acupuncturist. I still need to see a chiropractor or somebody. So I'm going to put attempted murder. And I believe that there is no evidence to the contrary. Next paragraph. As to count 5. As to count 5. On or about November 21st, 2000, officer such and such, badge number such and such, conspired to make several false statements, and I'm gonna submit a writ of discovery so that they will have to send me the recordings and the video from that body cam to prove that his statements don't match his affidavit. Yeah, see, 3 days ago, I didn't know nothing about court procedures, but I knew how to find a book to read it. And if I couldn't find it, I could find something somewhere online to read about it to where to find the book. So now we're gonna find every book about court procedures until we master court procedures. Cause I don't got $50 to pay you. Okay, here we go. Unless you want to take a promissory note. But I'm having fun learning to do it myself. So here we go. Conspire to make several false statements. Make it fun. So I wake up early and I stay up late doing it. Otherwise, I'd be doing something else. When something's exciting in your life, you can't wait to get to it. You can't stay away from it. It's called priorities. Some of us have to learn to prioritize the hard way. Some of us grow up with parents who teach us the meaning of prioritization. Either way, as long as we learn it, it's what matters. And this is a priority. Teaching yourself and teaching myself and learning the laws is a priority. Learning all law. How can I claim? Yeah, I don't know. You see, I'm not gonna claim Allah. I don't know Allah. Islamism. All right. As to count 5, conspired to make several false statements. 2, Compton County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department. Deputies. Regarding Sheriff Eli Butler. The accused Butler of violating DMV policy and made claim to ownership of my property. Private property. You can't touch people's private property, and people can't touch your private property. No matter how badass they think they are, there's always someone more badass. It's called Allah. You don't have to take my word for it, though. Let's see. So, deputies rush to judgment. Because, see, these people know Allah, and yet they blaspheme. And they wonder why they have leprosy. They wonder why they have no melanin. Just like the weirdo, he lost all his melanin instantly. To this day, he basically took the disease that the general came with. General got his melanin back, weirdo lost his. I argue, if it's written that the life is in the blood, then there's definitely something in the melanin. Now, pale skin or pink skin doesn't mean you have zero melanin. But when you are a leper, you have zero melanin. You have no melanin. Zippity. Deputies rush to judgment. Upon false statements. By Officer Dumbass without proper due diligence. And investigation of this alleged crime. Of this alleged crime. Oh boy. Had the deputies properly investigated it, had the deputies properly investigated it would have been easily proven that there was no crime committed. It would have been easily proven. It would have been easily proven that no crime had been committed. That no crime was committed. That no crime was committed. As a result of improper and malicious actions, as a result of improper and malicious, malevolent, malicious actions of the Compton County Sheriff's Office. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? This incident happened at the Torrance, uh, Redondo Beach County Police. That's where this one happened at. Compton County, that's another situation. We'll get to them later. So I gotta change all where it says Compton to Redondo Beach. Okay, yeah, this Redondo Beach, Redondo Beach, Redondo Beach, Redondo Beach, Redondo Beach. All right. Let me change this Redondo Beach. Okay, let me change this. Yeah, Compton. They was almost just as bad. Kidnapped me. Opened my door. Dragged me out the car unlawfully. We'll get back to them though. Okay, Redondo Beach. This is Redondo Beach Affidavit. All right. As a result of improper and malicious actions of the Redondo Beach Torrance County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Eli Butler was falsely arrested, and his family was traumatized by the actions of these deputies. Was falsely arrested, and his family was traumatized by the actions of these deputies. I should have went to law school when I was 18. It just amazes. I mean, when I say amazing, I mean like, how can I explain it? kind of like when you're a child and everything your parent does is like, because first off, you're a child and everything you're seeing is probably for the first time. Loud, I said, I'm going to be a lawyer in the next 4 years. Before the next 4 or 5 years is up, I'm going to be a lawyer. I said that out loud. Because I was getting fucking sick and tired. Every city, every neighborhood, every highway, road I'm driving down, I got to get. All right, we might have to. We're definitely gonna do a part two. It's 2 hours, but we're gonna keep it going as long as it's got a battery. The Wi-Fi doesn't just get put over anywhere for just for nothing, just because they see a brown person, you know. And not just any brown person, because people like they're from Uzbekistan or somewhere, they don't get pulled over like we do. Because definitely know who the Americans are. Everybody but us know who we are. That's crazy. But half of us don't know what we don't know. See, that'd be the fight. That would separate families, have division in families. Son against father, brother against brother. Ignorance. Ignoring all law. As a result of improper and malicious actions of the Compton County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Eli Butler was falsely arrested and his family was traumatized by the actions of these deputies. This was done to favor the unlawful actions of another law enforcement officer who was attempting to steal the lawful property of Sheriff Eli. And the body cam records will show this was done to favor the unlawful actions of another law enforcement officer who was attempting to steal the lawful property the lawful private property. Let's not forget, we are private individuals. I believe that these officers conspired to steal the lawful property. Observe Eli Butler. Criminal charges will be explored in this matter. This is abuse of power. Abuse of process. Collusion. Conspiracy. Racketeering. Denial of due process. Extortion. Fraud. Theft. Dishonor in commerce. Etc. I believe there's no evidence to the contrary. Next paragraph. I'll have to go back and do front and back on the next one. All right. As to count 6. The prosecuting attorney then I'm going to put that person's name. Did with full knowledge and malice of forethought continue this case. even after the body cam recording shows my denial of consent and notice of the exercising of my fundamentally protected right to travel. Prosecutor, put that person's name, was informed of the facts in this case and intentionally elected to continue to do harm to Seraph Eli Butler. This is a travesty of justice. And prosecutor, put that person's name right there, should be sanctioned by the court. For such malicious intent to prosecute. All right. Criminal charges may be explored. That's where there's injury, there's remedy. Seraph Eli Butler is an upstanding and productive member of society. Is an upstanding noble, and productive member of society. He has never been lawfully arrested or lawfully charged with a crime ever in his life. He was treated with utter disrespect and contempt. By deputies and officers of the court. Of Redondo Beach. Torrance County Sheriff's Office. This is abuse of power. Abuse of process. Denial of due process. Obstruction of justice. Dishonoring commerce. Conspiracy, extortion, coercion, etc. I believe there's no evidence to the contrary. Okay. I know once I really write this through a few times, these counts gonna really get longer because I can think of a whole lot more that happened. I just have to figure out how to put it into words. I only show the facts. Okay. Next paragraph. Opportunity to care. Men are allowed to make mistakes. God made man. The third-party defendants have 21 calendar days to cure their dishonor by the following. The third-party defendants have 21 calendar days to cure their dishonor by the following. See, people make mistakes. We make mistakes. We make it right. We know better. We do better. That is part of being man. Strive for excellence. Be perfect as your maker, as our creator is perfect. So here we perfect our claim. We perfect our affidavit as it will stand as truth and law. Number one, see, opportunity to cure. Third-party defendants have 21 calendar days to cure their dishonor by the following. Dismiss any and all claims against the third-party plaintiff with prejudice and pay the third-party plaintiff dismiss any and all claims against the third-party plaintiff with prejudice and pay the third-party plaintiff and get my calculator out. Eight 30 to 8, 9, 10 to 11, 12, 13, 30. About 7 hours. About 7 to 8 hours. Okay, let me see. 60 minutes times 8. 480 minutes. Divided by 23. Times 25,000. Okay. And pay The third party plaintiff, $521,739.13. Yeah, for every 23 minutes they hold you, it's $25,000 for false imprisonment. That's just for that. We're going to get back to the rest in part 2. Peace and love.